What's up? I just woke up from a nap. I just put my camera on because I know that if I don't do it right now, it's not happening. Hi, I'm Ashley. We're doing a bookshelf tour. Now, just to introduce this, I asked my subscribers, you, or maybe not you, but hopefully you, because you're who this video is for, what they wanted to see as a thank you, an appreciation for having 1,000 subscribers on this here channel. And they had a poll. I narrowed it down to 4 that I was interested in making, one of which was bookshelf tour. And here are the results. As you can see, 28% of people said they wanted a bookshelf tour. So that's what we're doing. Now, I don't personally really understand the appeal of bookshelf tours. I usually put them on in the background when one of my favorite YouTubers has them, and if it's just like a casual YouTuber that I don't watch every single one of their videos, I sometimes skip it. With that said, I hope I do a good job for you. Disclaimer, this is gonna be the jankiest book tour you've ever seen in your entire life, and I'm sorry in advance, but A, like I said, I'm tired, and B, I think I'm depressed. So all I want to do is sleep and eat ice cream, but I can't eat ice cream because it's bad for my digestion. So, and by that I mean it's just bad things happen. What was I saying? Yeah, let's do a bookshelf tour. Now, I know some people like to, they pull out every single one of their books. I'm not going to pull out every single one of my books. I'm also going to tell you that I did not dust very well before I did this. So if there's dust on my shelves, I'm sorry, but I just can't do it. I cannot dust right now. I can't. That sounds awful. I've been trying to vacuum for 3 weeks, so dusting is out of the question. This is going to be a fun video. Stupid gimbal, stop being a dickhead. Let's do bookshelf tour. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bookshelves in here. Wait, 1, 2, yeah, 5 bookshelves in here, and then I have like the occasional little nook place thing where I keep. Like there, I've got books, and then like there. And then I have in my room, I'm not going to show you my TBR shelves. I'm just going to show you the shelves with the books that I've already read, mostly. And then I got 2 more shelves in my room. And then I'm not going to show you my closet, because that's where the overflow lives, the shame books, the ugly books, the duplicate books. So we don't need a gimbal. We don't need to worry about that. So with that said, here we go. I hope I do okay enough for you that you don't unsubscribe. Bye. All right, here's our first bookshelf. This is where I put all of my books that I've finished reading this month. So those will get shelved after I make my wrap-up video. This has just, I one day thought it was pretty to put my unread romance books here, and now I can't do without that little rainbow stack, but I would like to get that down to 1 stack, preferably. Those don't matter. Those are, oops, don't look at my underwear. I have them drying. Those are books I'm getting rid of. This is my pretty hardcover non-jacketed books, which started with my Sanderson Secret Projects, Trust the Emerald Sea, was Frugal Wizard's Guide, You, Me, and the Nightmare Painter, Sunlit Man. This, I just think these books are so pretty. I've only read the first one, but I bought all the second ones. And then this one it's not actually Time of Iron. This is Long Live Evil. So, but yeah, I much prefer this book with its cover off. So that's where these are gonna live. Sometimes Pippin likes to come up here and chew on Vin, so that's annoying. Let's go down here. So I'm sorry, my coffee table's in the way, so there's really just not much I can do about that. Oh, hi. Again, don't look at my underwear. Hi, baby. Hi, can you say hi to the people? Oh, what's on your whisker? Okay. Pippin and I just took a nap together. It was super cute. You guys should really train your cats to take naps with you. When I lay down on the couch or on the bed in the middle of the day, they come running. It's very cute. They groom each other and then they lay down and we snuggle. Pippin, I have to do a bookshelf tour. Okay? Bye. Okay, so as I was saying, I recently reorganized this because I hated it the way it was looking, and this is unorganized chaos is what I'm liking to call this. So this top portion from, you can't see it really, Black Sun all the way through the end here, I roughly rainbowed them, but the rainbow's out of order, and as you can see, they're stacked very not symmetrically, and I just find this pleasing to the eye. Actually, I was thinking I might want to redo my entire bookshelves, all of them like this, because they stack up better. You see, I've got red. I actually got rid of all of these books except for this one. I don't know why. There's my Captive Prince books. I think the new Captive Prince covers are not, I mean, they're pretty, but I don't think they're accurate. And then I've got all my Terry Pratchett books mingled throughout here. So really there's absolutely no organization. This is why rainbow shelves don't work very well, because they're aesthetically pleasing to some people, but hard to find things unless you remember the spine of the book. Luckily, I do usually remember the spine of the book and the color. But yeah, so like we've got all my Discworlds. I don't know, I just wanted organized chaos is what I wanted. So there's the purple ones, and all the series are broken up. So these two are all the third books. Oh wait, no, this is book 2. This is book 3. All the... Guys, what do you do in a bookshelf tour? Do you just want to see the books? Like, I don't understand. Oh, ooh, I have to show you guys this. They have new covers for Sabriel and A Porcelain and Lyriel, and I still need to get the other two. This is the only one I own. This was $8. I mean, younger books are cheaper, so that's unfair. And then I got all my blues and greens and my ripped. This is actually gray, but I put it here just because. So, yeah. Oh, let's see if I can squeeze in here. Got greens, oranges, browns. Then the other 2 books of this trilogy. See, this is what I'm saying. This is a dumbass way to organize your books. Then I've got white with other colors. And then I did keep this series together because they have the same color palette. So that's annoying for some of you, I bet. And then I've got same thing here. They have the similar color palette, and I was able to get my black books and my white books and then just put these two together. I think that was pretty good. And then just a whole stack of Discworld except for these two. So that's weird. The Night Circus and Vicious, which I still haven't read book 2, and I'm not going to, I don't think. I think this works as a standalone. And then I've got Black Sun and Fevered Star over there, along with The Name of the Wind. So that is my fantasy paperback overflow shelf. Maybe if I zoom out like that, maybe that's better. Okay, then down here I've got the runoff of this. So I have some romantasy series, well, except for these two. Whatever, it's fine, I'll just leave it there. This is a middle grade book about a vampire, a little black girl who hunts vampires. And then I have this series, which I forgot the name of, and then Serpent and the Rings of Night, book 1. I still am like 50 pages into book 2, and that's a problem. This I couldn't find a spot for, so I just sort of shoved it in there. And then I have my Simon Snow books. Oh, sorry, that's my foot. No feet content. And then here we've got my middle grade and children's books. They are just stacked. That's pretty much that. Stop, I don't want to see that. I want to see this. My gimbal is being annoying. I don't really have much to say about any of those. I don't have much to say, except for this is still a great book. Also, I got rid of literally every book in this series except for this one for sentimental reasons. But now I have the Murtaugh, which I still haven't read. Ooh, and my new Percy Jacksons with the new covers. What's this? Paper, because Pippin chewed that up. That's That's great. Oh, also, what was I going to say? I don't remember. I was going to say something. It was important. Oh, well, I need to read these. Let's move on. Let's go. Oh, there's Pippin. There's Pippin. Ugh, don't look at my toes. I need a pedicure. Hey, do you want to be part of this bookshelf tour? Cutie? He's doing this thing now when I walk by where he knows that he's cute, and he knows if he rolls over and shows me his belly that I will stop and love on him. And he rolls over, and it's adorable. Huh, little vampire teeth. Little vampire teeth for my little soot sprite. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the rest of our books. Okay, so next up. There's the rest. Oh, I should zoom in. Pippin! What are you doing? What are you doing? Can you tell me? What's happening? Are you stuck? You're so dumb. Yeah. Okay, here is my bookshelf. Let's zoom in. So up top here, these are in semi-alphabetical order by series and author. I don't know, not really though. Mostly I just went by vibes. There's a whole video, actually, I'll link it down below, when I reorganized everything, which I'm about to do again. I can feel it as soon as I get up the energy. But I've got the My Lady Jane and its spiritual sequel, even though they're in separate series. Go figure on that. Hey, Pippin! Did you just bite me? Did you just bite me? What? Why? What do you want? What do you want? I need to film this bookshelf tour and you're not helping. Okay. No more biting. Anyway, if he bites me again, I'm going to be upset. Then I've got my Goblin Emperor and my Witness for the Dead books, my Catherine Addison. Book 3 I'm still in the middle of. Pippin, do not bite me. And then I've got my Robin Hobb books and just like a little teacup that I got in an aluminum crate. Ow, Pippin! What the? He just jumped up here and was trying to get at my tie. Oh, my tea's ready. Hold on one sec. What? Do you want tea? I got my Sid bookworm teacup. I'm gonna put some honey in it, hopefully for an energy boost or something. I don't know. Honey's good for you. Timer. Oh, look at this is what I'm saying. This is what he does. What are you doing? Yeah? You want attention? Huh? I'm doing something. I love you, but I'm doing something. Okay. Oh, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Or that. Okay, now, where was I? Oh yeah, my Robin Hobb books are all here. This is something that my friend Jessie made for our end of the year book club party, where she made one of these for every book that we read across 2 book clubs. And then everybody got to take one home if it was their favorite. And of course I put it right next to Warm Hands of Ghosts. And then I've got my Robert Jackson Bennett books, Foundry Side and The Tainted Cup. And then I've got my 2 copies of The Starless Sea and A Taste of Golden Iron. I did buy both of those. I was gifted that copy. So, but they're both really pretty. So I don't want to, this is the Waterstones edition. It's not in great condition, which is why it was so cheap. This goes for quite a bit of money on Pango now. And I have this one uncovered because I like it better than the cover. And then this has just the regular cover, but underneath it's pretty. I don't care about showing you. And then this is the British version, which is the one I bought. Down a shelf, we've got Priory of the Orange Tree and A Day of Fallen Night, which I know they should be swapped, but I want them this way because that's how the order they were written in, even though this one chronologically comes first. This, I think it's, is her name, what's her name? Oh my God, it's been so long since I read that book. I need to reread it. This is her sword, and I got this in an aluminum crate box. And then, before I stopped getting the boxes because it's too expensive, Let me zoom out a little. Oh, there goes my underwear again. Okay, then we've got Empire of the Wolf trilogy by Richard Swan. And then some YA books that I could stack on top of The Darker Shade of Magic. These two both have sequels that I will not be reading. Well, that's false. I read the sequel to this and I was very disappointed in it, so I do not need to own it. The first one is fine. And then I've got The Raven Boys. This I took home from that same book club. Sometimes I turn those on, but the battery is gonna die. Like one of them is already dying, so I don't turn them on that often. And then this is my Nightblood, the sword from Warbreaker, and also Stormlight. He plays a big role in Wind and Truth. Oh, my tea's ready. Hold on. And there's Pippin. Do this one-handed smack. Normally I squeeze the tea bag, but I'm just smacking against the cup with one hand. So you're welcome. Also, well, no, I'll use one hand here. Don't mind my dishes. Just don't look at half the stuff I'm showing you, okay? We've got Honey Bear, which is funny because I call Pippin Honey Bear sometimes. Okay. Got my tea. Stir that up. Who cares? Tea. Don't look at that. Look at that. Yep, do your thing. Do your thing. Show off. Show off for the people. Show off. Say, look at my glorious belly. It's so fluffy and soft. I lick it. Let's keep going. All right, and then I've got, now this is, okay, would you stop? Thank you, gimbal. So this is a mess. I just started Alloy of La today, which is why this is empty. And normally this would be filled with by book 3, The Hero of Ages, but that, again, don't look at my underwear. That is over there. And then I have Game of Thrones in here in the Bride and Santa section because I don't know where to put it. And there was an empty spot here because I've always got one of these out. So once I get through the Lost Metal, I'm gonna have to move this and I don't know where I'm gonna move it to. So maybe just on top of there. I don't know, we'll see. And then I have my Stormlight books. It bothers me this isn't a first edition, but all of these are. And then this is Oathbreaker the Sword. It's actually a keychain, but I have the keychain part hidden. And, oh wait, sorry, not Oathbreaker. That's Game of Thrones. Oathbringer, which is right there. And then this is a little man that came. I don't even need this. I don't know why. You're supposed to paint it. It's from one of the Sanderson boxes. I don't know. I just have it there. More candles, and then I have my Leigh Bardugo books. And on top of that, I have my newly acquired Book of Night copy. I had the version of this, and then I sold it, and then I regretted it, and I kept a white version and didn't like that. So now I have that. I got it for $10 because nobody likes that book except for me. Then I've got my second Blood Over Bright Haven here, and then here my Leigh Bardugo books. I also had different editions of these, but these are the first editions I tracked down copies that have the sprayed edges back when that was a rare thing. Nowadays, every book in the friggin' bookstore has sprayed edges, and not all of them look good. Can I just say that? Not every book needs a sprayed edge. This is my first edition Circe. And then I love the way these 3 books look together, and I'm really upset about it because this one has 2 sequels. And I haven't read them yet, but when I have, then they get to go on the shelf, and I have to break up. Oh, that's not dust, that's light. Okay. Oh, that's dust. That's gross. Okay. Pippin is playing with the dust. Then I have my S.A. Shannon, whatever, Chakraborty. I think she's going by Shannon now. Books. Actually, I have one more of these in the other room. I'll show you in a second. These I don't know what to do with, so they're just sitting here. They're pretty new. My River Has Roots. She signed it to me. Both of these were signed at the Tucson Festival of Books. Video link down below. Then I have my Iron Widow, which this does have a sequel that I'm just too lazy to put it here because that means I have to move these. And then I have these books that I just thought looked pretty together. This one, I am getting a third book, which I'm gonna do another hybrid monster copy. So for those of you who don't know, I bought the Waterstones edition of this book, which I don't need to do, turns out, and the Fairy Loot edition. And I took the Waterstones cover, because I like this color better, off of the book and put it on the Fairy Loot edition, and then sold my copy of the Waterstones edition with the Fairy Loot cover on Pango, and it sold in like an hour. So hot tip. And I'm going to do that again. Although I just bought the regular edition from Blackwell's this time with the purple cover, because the Fairy Loot edition is not this color, but it is like a blue-ish color, and they need to be different colors. So this is a bookmark that Jessie made. same Jessie from up here. Then she brought a bunch of drinks to our Girly Drinks book club meeting. This is, what's this again? Oh, this is my book of the month hammer for completing my challenge last year. It's actually really heavy. That's Pippin's laser pointer. I'm not going to touch it because if he hears it, he'll go insane. And then I've got some books over here. Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. I need to get copies of book 2 and 3 so I can read them. The Shades of Grey series, Weaver and the Witch Queen. Still need to read books 2 and 3 of that. And then I have my Fairy Loot copies of Emily Wilde here and Legendborn. And these are the book of the month editions. And the new book of the month edition has the sticker, has the logo on it, and that's super annoying. So now I have to get a book that's not going to match because, yeah. Anyway, I need to reread Bloodmarked first before I keep going though. Oh, my back's itchy and I'm sweaty. Okay, and then we've got, I need to go faster. More pretty books. These are all fantasy. Many of them have sequels. Then I have Deborah Harkness. I don't know why. I just like them, okay? I just like it. Even though it's bad, I like it. And then I love that series I need to reread. It takes up so much room on my shelves, though. That's my Alexia Harrow section. And then the second 2 middle game books I also need. And then there's Babel and The Well of the Many, because I thought they looked pretty together. And this is the Waterstones edition of Wolf Song, which I have the spine out. But then here's this copy. Whatever. These are all my TJ Clunes. And then this is my Medusa, little Medusa. I need like a stand because I want to put it right here because Stoneblind is right here, which is Medusa. But it falls down when I do this, as you can see. Oh wait, there it goes. It'll fall down in a second and scare me. Those are the cat toys. Then I have Freya Marsky series, Avatar: The Last Airbender books, The Spell Shop. Oh, without its cover. Interesting. And then I have my hardcovers of Game of Thrones. I have 3 copies of those. I have the hardcovers, I have the mass market paperbacks, and I have the trade paperbacks. And then here is A Deadly Education, which I love this series. You guys can f*** off if you don't also love it. Just kidding. It's fine if you don't. And then I don't know where I'm going to put once I get the, ooh, it's dusty, other 2 copies of Emily Wilde in that edition. And then just some books that looked good together. This is actually a series. These are the Illumicrate versions of this series that I love and should reread. And then I've got Naomi Novik books. I need to get a copy of book 2 of this. I had a pre-order and then my card declined and they canceled my order. Oops. But I'm kind of glad actually, because all of the first printing of this, every single edition I've seen of it, either in Barnes & Noble or Target or wherever, has been really bound terribly. Like, this is tight. You see that? All of the ones for book 2 were like wonky, and all the pages were like, it was like the book couldn't even close. It was so weird. Oops. I'm gonna put that there. And then Darkrise. I need to reread this because I have the sequel, but I haven't read it yet because I don't remember what happened. And then I have Fourth Wing, which I should just get rid of that. I should. Golem and the Genie. I had book 2, but I didn't like it that much, and it's not pretty, and it doesn't match this, so I got rid of it. And then you guys, I mean, you watch my own hauls. You should know this. And then I've got this series with, I still need book 3. Then all my Lainey Taylors. And then let's move on. I do have some behind my record player. I have some book of the month editions back there that I got. You know how they do like the special editions sometimes of the classic books. Like I have Little Women back there, Death on the Nile, Into Thin Air, Practical Magic, that kind of stuff all back there. Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah. Oh, here. No, don't do that. Ma'am. What the heck? What the heck? Okay, so this is my main bookshelf, and this is going to involve a ladder. So I have to go get a ladder. We are already at 25 minutes. You're welcome. I don't actually know how much of this is interesting, but just in general, we have romance. Now I've moved this into a romance next to the TARDIS. There's overflow now. This is mystery thriller, mystery thriller, mystery thriller, mystery thriller, mystery thriller, mystery thriller, and then, well, those need to be, those are out because I'm doing something with them. Just they don't go there. And then I've got horror, and random books that don't fit anywhere else, but that shelf is a mess. I'll talk about it in a second. Got my Stephen King shelves, mystery thriller, graphic novels. Then up here we have sci-fi, fantasy, Dungeon Crawl Carl, and then I've got all these fantasy books down there. Mass markets, and now there's paperbacks and Heartstopper for some reason, because my shelves need to be looked at. Hey, what did I just tell you, Mr. Sirs? Quit acting like you're neglected. You're not neglected at all. You're spoiled rotten. Stopping the video to go get a ladder. Sir, would you kindly remove yourself from the step ladder, please? Come on. Off. Fine, I'm just gonna step on here with you. There you go. Wait, I need to move farther away. This ladder's too close. Okay, we're gonna zoom out. So as you can see, I am double stacked. These are small hardcovers. These are trade paperbacks and a small hardcover. And then I've got little hardcovers there also, but then I have big hardcovers, mostly book of the month romance here. And then I have overflow. This needs to go in the purple section very badly, and this needs to go in the book of the month section, but again, that'll have to wait. Also, this is concerning. Does anyone else's Billy bookshelf do this? Like, it's together down at the bottom, and then the farther it goes, yeah, it's concerning. Anyway, and then I have all my red, pink, orangey books here, and then green and turquoise and purple, because I have it like this because it makes me happy. I don't care if you're going to judge me about rainbow bookshelves. These are mass markets. I don't really like mass market romance, but these are the ones that I have. Mostly they are the Lady Awakens series by, what's her name, Cecilia something, and Loretta Chase, and Bridgerton, and Tessa Dare, mostly back there, because those books don't have trade paperbacks. Let's move on. We've got mystery thriller, got my Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, Murder Your Employer, My Murder, The Change, which this could technically probably be a fantasy also, but it's really more of a thriller with fantasy elements. Ashley Wynn Says The Last Housewife. Got my Simone St. James Book of the Month hardcovers. I still need to get a copy of the one with the kid that takes place in the orphanage, whatever that one is. Then I've got my Mad Pie Murders and Moonflower Murders. And the third book just came out. I need to get a copy of that ASAP. I might get it this weekend, actually, because it's through tomorrow. Points, double points at Barnes & Noble. So, and I have a $5 reward. And then these are more mystery thrillers. Just some good ones. Murders. We Solve Murders, How to Solve Your Own Murder, The Last Murder at the End of the World, and then Yellowface, Chain Gang All-Stars. Again, that could be sci-fi, but I felt like it was more of a suspense thriller book than anything. And then my family has killed someone, and everyone was trained as a suspect, and The Devotion of Suspect X. Then we move over, we've got my bookmarks in this skull mug that I got at Bookman's. And then we have Simone St. James non-book of the month, S.A. Cosby, all of my Lindsay Fays, which I'm missing book 2 in this series, and it's super annoying. And then I have Thursday Murder Club, which I like the way all these look together, but I'm going to probably have to move this series because this is getting itself a 5th book in September, and it's gonna go right there, but there's no room at the top, so it's gonna be orange. So there'll be 2 orange books in this stack. That's gonna be weird. Maybe I'll move the Ton of Frenches. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. And then I've got some Book of the Month mystery thrillers. Listen for the Lie, Apples Never Fall, The Maid, which I've entirely kept because it's pretty, Winter Counts, Razorblade Tears. Then we have my mystery paperbacks. So back here we have Blues. And then we have mysteries series. So I have like the Alewives. I don't know where the second book is. Probably somewhere that I don't want it to be. All my Ton of French Dublin murder books. Lady Sherlock. This book, I have book 2. Okay, these are all my overflow bookmarks and tabs. I'll just move those for a second. Then I have my Jane Austen murder mysteries by Claudia Gray, Veronica Mars, and then the first 4, what Mary something in Sherlock? Anyway, I like the first 4 books in this edition, but I don't like any of the other books. So if I read them, if I ever go past book 4, which is this book 4, then I'll get it in a different edition. Okay. And up front, these are like more standalone mystery thrillers. I've got several Patricia Highsmiths. Got an Elmore Leonard. Just the first book in the Flavia DeLuce series because I didn't think the other ones were worth buying. Kind Worth Killing, Death of Mrs. Westaway, Nancy Drew. Malice by Keigo Higashino. I love him and his books, but I just think this book is particularly pretty. Strangers on a Train. Alyssa Cole's thriller, but she has a new one. I haven't read it yet. 8 Perfect Murders. Vera Wong. This book, I have the sequel, and I'm about to read it in like a couple of days. So I don't know I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll figure it out. Peter Slamson's Christmas novella. Woman in the Library. 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Another Keigo Higashino. A paperback Lindsay Faye. Lisa Jewell. Alice Bell's books. Paperback Janice Hallett's. I've moved on to hardcover for her, and then the rest of my Sherlock Holmes paperbacks, which the other 2 are right there. Again, I'm doing something with them that I've been trying to do since January. And then these books don't have in this same edition, which is really, really, really annoying. The last of my mystery thrillers, The Plot. I have the sequel out from the library. Literally, it's called The Sequel. And then Megan Golden. Finley Donovan, I'm not reading past this book. Taylor Adams, Stuart Turton, Ride and Retreat, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's move Sherlock, because these don't go here. These are my nuts. Those are my special editions of the Good Girls Guide to Murder books. So those should be in the mystery section, but whatever. And I've got some small horror books here. I've got ML Rio, a lot of T. Kingfisher, Lee Mandello, Chuck Tingle, but mostly Stephen Graham Jones. And then I've got more horror books. I've got Megan Giddings and Paul Tremblay, my Rachel Harrison books, my Kirsten White books that I like, F.U., Standard Review, Katrina Ward, and Grady Hendrix. It's bothersome that this one doesn't look like the others. Whatever. Also, I got this for my birthday a couple years ago. I think Jesse actually gave it to me. It's just little mini Stephen King books. And I enjoy them. They're very cute. Pepin likes to knock that off the shelf and then roll it into the couch, and it's really fun. More horror books. More Stephen Graham Jones, Simone St. James, Patricia Wants to Cuddle, more It's Nana Reeve Do. Got some horror novellas, more T. Kingfisher. Got Krampus and House of Leaves in there. House of Hollow. When the Reckoning Comes, Roger Zelazny, Lonesome October, Carmilla, etc. Now this shelf is a frickin' mess, and I apologize. This shelf is a frickin' mess, and I apologize, my couch is in the way. These are a combo of books I have not finished or that I don't have room for. These are dust jackets of books that I'm currently reading. Well, that's a whole book that I'm currently reading. And then the back is books that it's just overflow, or books that I never finished. And I tend to just shove dust jackets here, but mostly this is like right here. It starts right here because these are also dust jackets. This is the rest of the horror books. Like ideally, this is all going to be horror, this kind of shelf in the future. But I've got my full-size Stephen Graham Joneses, my Mona Awad's, horror movie, Bury Your Gaze. All of my Ira Levin books are here. Eyes Are the Best Part. All my Nat Cassidy books. And then, why is this doing this? This manga series that I never finished. I just read volume 1. Oh wait, no, that's volume 1. And then I need to read volumes 2 and 3. But I don't remember what happened in this, and I don't want to reread it. So I think I'm just going to watch the anime. Anyway, then I have some graphic novels. The rest of my graphic novels are in the closet now. But I have some of my favorite ones, Ali Brosh, Genderqueer, and then Why the Last Man, The Unwritten, Saga, and then V for Vendetta and Watchmen. Yeah. All right, now we've hit Stephen King. So this is my Stephen King shelf. I need to take all of these off the shelf in order to get Firestarter on there. So Firestarter is just sitting out there, but I've got mass market paperback copies. This one, I was going to show you in a book haul coming up, but this book is out of print. I have a search set up for it on Pango, and this and there's like a hardcover version also go from between usually $50 to $200. And I've been looking for one that's super cheap, and this thing, you can't really see it, but the cover entirely fell off. The spine entirely broke in half, and they have packaging taped this cover all to hell. But it's because Rage is not in publication anymore because of violence reasons, I think. But I've been looking for a copy of this forever, and it popped up on Pango for $10. And even though this is like the shittiest book ever that I've ever seen in my entire life, although whoever patched it up did a good job, I think. But look at that. Seriously, can you see that it literally cracked? Like the first part of this like just fell off. Anyway. And then I have my regular copy of The Stand, unedited, and then The Stand again, the edited version, all my shitty little paperbacks, and then I've got all my Stephen King first editions back there, except for Firestarter, it needs to go back there. And then I've got all my hardcovers, which are mostly first editions as well, just because I bought them new. And then I've got trade paperbacks back there. I've got It and Misery, which are probably my 2 favorites so far. And then I've got The Dark Tower, Dr. Sleep and The Shining, which I'm thinking about doing a reading vlog and reading both of those back to back. I don't know if people are interested in that, let me know. I might do it anyway, even if you're not interested, it's fine. Salem's Lot, Green Mile, and I've got another copy of The Dark Tower. And then, oops, this. I've got Stephen King Overflow, and I've got Insomnia and Cujo here, and then a copy of Carrie, and If It Bleeds in the Outsider, and some strawberries. And then there's overflow books in the back, but we're not going to look at those. Okay, let's move on to sci-fi. Okay, so here's some sci-fi hardcovers. That is Mbot from Starsight, from Skyward, Brandon Sanderson's series. This pretty book is Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. Highly recommend that one. Bridge by Lauren Bukes. I've kept it. I liked this book, but I just like the way it looks on my shelf. This book, I don't know when book 2 is coming out. That is the Illumicrate version of The Principle of Moments, which is a fun little sci-fi. Got Hitchhiker's Guide, Hank Green's books, Lindsay Ellis, except for book 3, which I don't know where that is currently. Ready Player One. I do not have Ready Player 2, and that is very much on purpose. My Andy Weir books. Bloodline by Claudia Gray. Great book. No joke. This series that I never finished, and it really bothers me, and I need to get a copy of book 3. It's like I think it's like an Argentinian fantasy. I had a good time with it. Charlie Jane Anders. This book series that is existentially painful. To Like the Lightning by Ada Palmer. She just came out with a really fun history book that I'm really excited to read, and I have the audio copy, and I'm sure I will be reviewing it for you guys soon. And then there's the new James S. A. Corey series and the excellent X-Files book by Claudia Gray. Now I come to Skyward, the Skyward series, although I don't know where book 4 is. I've got books 1 through 3, the novellas. I also have Elantris Band-Aids from the Year of Sanderson. Please ignore my dust. That's gross. Oh no! Slug down. That was unfortunate. Then I've got some Animorphs hardcovers that I really like. Hork Bajor Chronicles. And then I just realized these are backwards. This is book 1 and this is book 2. Hold on, I gotta fix it. Okay, then I've got Mickey 7, by the way, which I really liked the movie. Other people did not. My Kurt Vonnegut's. There's a couple in the bedroom too. Mar Lafferty, a Star Wars book that I cannot remember if I read. Jacket for Translation State. That is Jessie Jr. by Plant. She is in awful condition. And both of my copies of Ancillary Justice and Providence back there. You can't see it. This is where I have this right now, but it's not going to stay there. I don't know where I'm going to put it. The Enterprise. Then I've got my special editions of The Expanse. They've only done 3 as far as I'm aware. Oh. Oops. I need to find like frames for these. What is this from? Oh, this is, I don't know if I want to put this up yet. This is a art print I got in my special editions of the Malazan books. And those are also art prints up there that I need to... And this fan art from Supernatural. I really want to frame that. It's from a calendar, but I've just been too lazy to do it. And here's my regular editions of The Expanse, Dark Matter, Murderbot, Gideon the Ninth, and Grogu. Jessie made this for me. She makes all of my knickknacks, so just assume they're all from Jessie in the future. Actually, that's not true. Lindsay made me this. The pattern... Oh my god, why can I not remember the slug's name? I love the slug. Oh my god, it's gonna bother me now. Anyway, Lindsay made me that. I sent her the pattern that came with one of the boxes as a free download. Now we're down here. This is a bookmark, but I have it here. This is from also the Cosmere box. Mostly those are all my mass market paperbacks that aren't very pleasant looking, and some of them are pretty old. Then I've got the Dune series up through book 4 because I never went past that. Some Star Wars books. That's Ender's Game and Speaker for the Dead, and then the Endymion series. Dan Simmons. And then I have small hardcovers for sci-fi. I've got the Scythe series, How High We Go in the Dark, my Emily St. John Mandels, Becky Chambers, Malcolm Ozer, the one sci-fi book that I have for T.J. Klune, C.J. Cherry's Heavy Time, Children of Time and Children of Memory. I need book 1, book 2. Also, there's going to be a book 4. Did you guys know that? I thought this was the end. Book 4 is coming out soon. Some more sci-fi books, my new copy of Kindred, Becky Chambers again, and then I've got some paperback and hardcover John Scalzi's. I don't have anywhere to put his latest once I finish it though. There's no room, so I don't know what I'm gonna do there. Now we go down a shelf. This is where I've got my Dungeon Crawler Carls. I still need book 6. It was just published on the 13th. This is my illustrated Hunger Games. And then all the rest of my regular Hunger Games editions. I do not own Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I don't think that I ever will. I don't know, I might change my mind if I find like a used copy somewhere and it's in good condition, but I'm not gonna buy it new. And then I have sci-fi mass markets. I've got all my Michael Crichtons. Back there is Star Wars books. I have Alistair Reynolds, all my original Scalzi books that were mass market that I'm replacing with the trade paperbacks. Some classic sci-fi, more Star Wars. just a bunch of stuff back there. I'm not gonna pull them all out. Then we've got Mass Market Fantasy. I've got some Tolkien books here, N.K. Jemisin, my signed Lies of Lockamora, which is why I still have it, Diana Wynne Jones, the Brandon Sanderson Wheel of Time. The rest of it's down there, but I have them separate because they're, I don't know why. Don't ask me why I do what I do. And then my Jim Butcher books. I recently put all of my Diana Gabaldon and Neil Gaiman books back there. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. The last time I told you guys what I was going to do with them is keep the ones I've read, get rid of the ones I haven't. But that was before like that article came out and we realized just exactly how bad things were. So I don't know. I've got everything back there. They'll probably just go in the closet of shame with all of the She Who Must Not Be Named books. I don't know where the rest of the series is. That's fine. Also, I need to read this because it was a gift and it's like one of the only book exchange books I haven't read. So I need to read it. I've heard good things. Oh, let's go back. Let's go down. All right, then we've got the only mass markets that I kept for my Terry Pratchett when I unhauled my mass market collection for him. Then I've got the first 5 Wheel of Time books because those were my favorites of the Robert Jordan books. I got rid of the rest. Don't ask me why again. This is my original copies of Sabriel, Lyriel, and Abhorsen. I love these books. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I want the updated version. I want the hardcover with the new cover. Also, they did a new audiobook, which I like the original audiobook, but the new audiobook is narrated by Richard Armitage. So you're welcome. Those are my Redwall books, the ones that I still own. And then Alona Andrews. These are the self-pub ones. The Innkeeper series, which is my favorite of theirs. And the new covers for this series, which I highly enjoy, despite the love interest being a dick. And then this is where I've decided to keep my Bridge Kingdom books and, for some reason, Heartstopper. I couldn't fit them in with the other graphic novels that were my favorites. And it was either that or the closet. They're probably going to get, I don't know what I'm going to do, you guys. I need another bookshelf. I need another house. Don't look at that stuff in the corner. Okay, just half this video is me telling you guys what not to look at. Hey, what are you doing up there? Hey. Does my hand smell like dust? What are you looking at? Now he uses this. I have to put it away because he uses it to jump up to the top shelves of the bookshelves and knock stuff off. So, yeah. And when I moved my chair, this chair, he jumps up on top of it. I had to like test it out to make sure he couldn't lean. I kept having to move it just a little bit more, and now it's at the perfect length where he can't get at the plant. Which, do you see how pathetic that looks? That's because of Pippin. So, also I need to water it. Okay, now we are going into my room. Ignore my laundry. Okay, again, those are all TBR. We're not, that'd be a whole separate video. These are my currently reading May books, and that is June. June is going to be insane. I'm doing 30 books in 30 days again. Send me your thoughts and prayers. And then let's look at this shelf. So this is my, hold on. I need to clean off my scarves and shit. This is my hardcover fiction. Just regular fiction. Got Margaret Atwood, Frederick Bachman, Emily Austen, Helen Fielding, Yag Yassi, Linda Holmes, Liz Moore, all my Taylor Jenkins reads. You see them. Now this one, I need to move everything around, which is why it's sitting out like that. Although it is one of my favorite books of this year so far. So I haven't been too fussed about putting it elsewhere. But for now, it's just there because putting it in with its brethren would mean moving things around, and I'm just too tired. So those are the books it was hiding. Bandit Queens, highly underrated. Golden Boy, highly underrated. I really liked Opal and Nev. This book was wacky. Margot's Got Money Troubles, Edgar Sawtelle, Loveless. Everyone Knows Your Mother's a Witch. I don't know. I feel like my regular fiction books are still pretty weird. Anyway. Burp. Put you back there. Okay, the same thing here. I moved this. This was on my romance shelf, so I moved it in here, but I was too lazy to actually do the work of, again, moving things around. It was supposed to go like right here or like up there somewhere. So I just stuck it here, but that's fine because I really like this book cover. So then I've got paperbacks, fiction paperbacks, my Evelyn Waugh collection, which they stopped using these covers, so I have to find the rest of them in used bookstores. And then I've got Concrete Rose and the Hate You Give. I love those books. Lessons in Chemistry, the British version, John Green. And then I have other books down here that's fine. They're clearly in colored order. I do have room down here for another paperback. And there's like room at the top, but this is like my least read genre. So, or if I read them, I don't own them. I get them from the library. Okay, now let's go over to my the rest of my fiction is up here. So I was too tired to fit Louise in there at the top or whatever again. So I just stuck her here, which I learned something new about this book. Apparently that is supposed to mimic the colors of the aurora, which is a thing in this book. But anyway, blue and black and white fiction, just regular fiction. And then, oh wow, before I forget, I've just got some extra rollover like pretty books. Like I've got the Bone Season series up there, The Art of Prophecy, which I haven't read, my American version of The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, Hild, Hamajang Luck, which is sci-fi, and then my extra copies of Tainted Cup and A Drop of Corruption. Those I would like to face out somewhere, ideally, because they've got the foiling, but I just don't have room. Then I have my classics shelf. I've got the Penguin Classics editions of my 3 favorites of her books, Pride and Prejudice, and then Emma. These all have deckled edges and French flaps. Then I've got the Penguin Classics hardcovers and my Shakespeare signets, and then my Shakespeare Oxford World Classics. This is a flower from my Grammy's funeral. This is a wand that my friend Emily took me to a fake wizarding bar in Seattle, and they put you through this whole process of getting you your own wand, and you're supposed to do stuff to it, like oil it or wrap it in leather, and I've never done anything with it, but I enjoy having it here because my friend Emily is very thoughtful at gift giving. And these are all of my Penguin classics. They've stopped making them like this, and it's super annoying. As you can see, the new version, this is what they look like now, and I hate it. Thank you so much. Those are my insurance cards. Why are they there? I don't know. This is a spillover from Dust Jackets of books I'm reading, so that's really special. Those aren't supposed to be there. And then I've got more classics here. Here, these are all classics. And then this is a luggage tag from the Sanderson boxes, World Hopper, which I think is really cute. But I haven't gone anywhere since I got it, so. Okay, then we go to nonfiction. They are also color-coded-ish by size and by color. Yeah, I got my Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson, The Bloggess, Bitch on the Female of the Species, which is one of my favorite nonfiction books ever. You should check it out. The Library Book by Susan Orlean, Great Pretender by Susanna Halen, I'm Glad My Mom Died, another Jenny Lawson book, The End of Bias, which is a really good book that people are sleeping on, and I really feel like it's really important right now. And then I've got Dinner for Vampires in there, which I did like that book. And then I've got some other nonfictions. This one is a small press book by a professor of creative writing here at the University of Arizona who did writing workshops in prisons, and this is a story about him doing that for 35 years. Then we've got Chanel Miller, a random mystery book. I don't own many of those. How to Be Perfect by Mike Schur about the good place and philosophy. Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, and then Felicia Day's book. My signed Paul Holes book. I really liked this book, We'd Keep the Dead Close. Stephen King's On Writing. Hunger by Roxane Gay. Minor Feelings by Kathy Park Hong. Cultish. Some true crime. Danny Lavery's book about being trans. Some books that shouldn't be here. But they just live there now. More nonfiction. Lucky, which is a rough book by Alice Sebold. It's nonfiction about her being sexually assaulted and what happened after. And which, sad, I mean, like, I feel like the book ends with him getting caught, but then we find out, if you Google that case now, they had the wrong person in prison for years and years and years, and it's really terrible. Brain on Fire, love this book. I love David Gran. I got my Stonewall Reader. Bill Bryson, a Sherlock book. Manhunt. James L. Swanson just died, which is sad. Carrie Fisher's book, A Small Place by Jamaica Kincaid, which is a really, like, not well-known book about living in a Caribbean island and what it's like living there. The Convenient Ending is an excellent book. Highly recommend it. Why do I still have Refuge? That is the most depressing book ever. It's about cancer. Called Midwife. I loved the first, like, 5 seasons of that show till the main character left. Jeffrey Toobin's book about OJ. And Rated Lax. And we've got some more true crime books. The screenplays. The annotated screenplay of Sense and Sensibility, because I love that movie so much, and I love Emma Thompson, and I want to be friends with her. Columbine by Dave Collin, excellent book. Oral History of Shaun of the Dead, great book. Shit, actually, movie parodies. These are also movie parodies. Nonfiction about various things, Puritans, animals, butts. John Green's Tuberculosis book, Mindy Kaling's, more Sarah Vowell. Some TV books, The Elements of Style, which is apparently a book every writer should own, so I bought it, you know, when I was 18. Mindy Kaling's other book, The Anthropocene Reviewed, which I love that book so much, and Packing for Mars, which is my favorite Mary Roach book. And then we go down to the last of the nonfictions. Got some John Krakauer, Just Mercy, Carrie Fisher again, the book that got this woman canceled, but it was actually a pretty good book. Anne Frank, Truman Capote, Michel Foucault, Maxine Hahn Kingston, and then I've got some TV books down here as well as Joseph Campbell and David Sedaris, and then some Animorph books. These are the next 3 I need to read for my reread that I stopped like 5 years ago. And then that's Nedry from Jurassic Park. That was a birthday present. I just never knew where to put it, so this is where he lives, just because. And then that's TBR. That's TBR. All of those are TBR. Oh, I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this. I bought this off of Etsy. They illustrated my favorite books. So, yeah. All of these except The Martian were in my top 20 books of all time video list. And that was because I swapped The Martian for Project Hail Mary because I'm a traitor. But I do still love The Martian. So, that's why those are there. Anyway, let's wrap up this video. Huh, Pippin? Let's wrap it up. That's it. Oh, there's the stool. Well, you don't care. I took the gimbal off because it was annoying. So that is my bookshelf tour. I don't know how interesting that was to you guys, if that did the job, if that's what you wanted to see. But that's what I had for you. Hello, so I just realized while I was sitting here editing that I missed a shelf. Oops, sorry. So here we've got my Tolkien collection. Got the Silmarillion, 2 copies of that, 2 copies of The Hobbit, and 3 copies of the Lord of the Rings bind up with all 3 books. And then if you go down to the bottom, you have a copy of Dracula that's all velvety and soft, and then I've got the complete Shakespeare and the complete Sherlock Holmes. They are Barnes & Noble editions. I do have a leather Gilded Edge, hi baby, Pippin's right here, of that book, so you see that. And then this Liza Blacklemore trilogy. This is The Gentleman Bastards, so didn't want to forget those. I don't know. Was that good? Was it good? Who knows? Anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. as always, I've got links in my little doobly-doo down below for my Buy Me a Coffee, my Amazon wish list. And if you liked the video and you want to see more of me, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you want to. With that, I'm gonna go change out of this shirt, which I've made very sweaty by just walking around and talking. So that makes sense. Maybe go get some dairy-free ice cream because I really want ice cream. Also, I really want a chili dog. Maybe I just want Dairy Queen. Maybe I'll go get some Dairy Queen. But that, I would suffer if I actually did that. So we're not gonna do that. Whatever, you don't care. If you don't have anything to say, please leave me a book stack in the comments if you want to help me with the algorithm, but just don't want to actually say anything. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you, bye.